Right now at 10, the votes are in. Spring Grove voters have approved a new referendum for the school.
And day 2 of Lori Phillips' reckless homicide trial is over, with a key witness testifying earlier today.
Plus, new tweaks to the plan to fund upgrades to the home of the Milwaukee Brewers have been presented in the state Senate.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. Well, residents in the Spring Grove School District have voted to approve one of the district's referendums.
According to the Spring Grove School's Facebook page, voters passed the $12 million referendum focused on facility upgrades. That includes updating the school's 95-year-old heating and ventilation systems.
The second referendum question failed. If it had been approved, $4 million would have gone toward building a new career and technical education lab.
Witness testimony dominated day 2 of a reckless homicide trial in La Crosse County Court.
Lori Phillips is charged with second-degree reckless homicide. She's accused of killing her husband Mark with her truck in 2019.
A key witness today, the forensic pathologist who conducted Mark Phillips's autopsy. He says Phillips had injuries on the left side of his head and body that are consistent with blunt force trauma. But the doctor told both prosecution and defense that while the injuries are consistent with a vehicle incident, he cannot guarantee the intent behind the injuries.
That's the caveat, that it's not specific for that, but it is something that could be consistent with a crushing type of injury.
That trial has been underway since Monday. It continues tomorrow.
State grants covered the cost of thousands of Narcan doses in Crawford County. The Crawford County Sheriff's Office Department of Emergency Management announced they were awarded just over 2,300 doses of Narcan. That amount of Narcan is estimated to cost $52,000, but the grant required no matching funds, which means local budgets contributed nothing to cover the cost. The grant came through the state's Narcan Direct program. Narcan is a branded form of naloxone. It can reverse opioid overdoses and save lives.
A little bit of wind picked up in the evening hours tonight, and it might be a wetter morning for commuters tomorrow, Greg.
Yeah, the rain is beginning to approach, but it is held off for the most part so far. Cloud cover is beginning to lower, but we are going to see more of the wet weather as we go on through tomorrow. Right now, the current conditions are pretty nice out there. 46 degrees in La Crosse, 43 in Eau Claire. So overall, not a bad November night. Right now, you see temperatures holding steady right now. Even the upper 40s further west, too. As we look at radar right now, a lot of that overhead is not reaching ground. That's just cloud cover beginning to lower, but as you go closer up to Minneapolis, that is some of the precipitation that is beginning to actually reach the ground and is heading towards Eau Claire. We'll see more develop here later on. Big picture shows all that activity between a system that's heading our way, but it's fairly disorganized. So waking up really is probably going to be drizzle and low clouds will be the main thing dealing with. Otherwise, you see temperatures really just barely steady up to the 46-degree mark by noon. And the same story for La Crosse. Once again, drizzle more, maybe a shower, light winds, kind of a damp, dreary morning for most of the areas as we go through. So as we plan out the rest of the day, a National Cappuccino Day too, by the way. We'll see temperatures around 51 degrees. We'll see drizzle continue, and then I'll break down what we look like for a breezy Thursday and what Veterans Day weekend looks like. All that coming in a bit later in the broadcast.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you. 5 Wisconsin Assembly Republicans are pressuring Assembly Speaker Robin Vos to impeach Wisconsin's elections administrator. Vos says that's not going to happen. The 5 Republicans are a group who openly embrace debunked conspiracy theories about the 2020 election. But former President Trump has shown support for their efforts to pressure Vos into impeaching Megan Wolfe, the state's elections administrator. Vos tells the AP his party is nowhere near a consensus on impeaching her and has said the party needs to move forward and not obsess over Wolfe. A lawsuit on Wolfe's behalf is still in the court system. In that case, Republican attorneys have already admitted the Senate's vote to fire her this fall had no legal effect.
Wisconsin's Republican-controlled Senate voted along party lines to approve 3 election-focused amendments to the state constitution. The proposed legislation would outlaw private funding for elections administration. It also enshrines existing voter photo ID requirements in the state constitution. And the third proposal specifies that only U.S. citizens are eligible to vote in state and local elections. Republican lawmakers have been increasingly turning to constitutional amendments to avoid a governor veto. Governor Tony Evers cannot veto constitutional amendments, though the amendments must be approved by 2 consecutive sessions of the legislature before voters ultimately decide with a statewide election.
All Senate Democrats voted against those 3 constitutional amendments. Democratic Senator Jeff Smith believes his Voter Protection Act is a better answer to making sure Wisconsinites can exercise their right to vote.
In a statement, Senator Smith says, quote, Republicans continually refuse to engage in a productive conversation on how to help voters exercise their constitutional right. He says his Voter Protection Act includes voter-friendly proposals like universal voter registration. Wisconsin Senate Republicans have some new tweaks to a plan to fund the upgrades to the home of the Milwaukee Brewers. Senator Dan Fine's latest amendment would add a $2 surcharge on non-Brewers events at American Family Field. That change means the state's funding contribution is a bit lower, but still sits in the $400 million range and above. The Brewers, meanwhile, agree to contribute about $100 million and to extend their lease to the year 2050.
It was also a busy day in Wisconsin's Republican-controlled assembly. Representatives voted to ban UW officials from considering race and diversity when awarding state-funded financial aid. Evers is expected to veto the measure. He also expected to veto another higher education bill that Assembly passed today. That bill would withhold state grants from schools that repeatedly violated free speech rights on campus.
The Save Your Rights Coalition is continuing their fight against the city of La Crosse with their lawsuit to overturn the city's ban on conversion therapy.
The lawsuit was filed in October of last year in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Wisconsin. News 8 Now's Shaquille Davis has the details.
I learned that I have the right to my opinion. I can say my opinion even if you don't like it, and that's okay.
Joy Buckman is a licensed mental health professional and the key plaintiff in the lawsuit challenging the city's ban on conversion therapy. The ban, passed by the La Crosse City Council in September of last year, prohibits children from receiving counseling aimed at changing same-sex attraction and gender confusion. Attorney Luke Berg believes the ban is a human rights violation.
This is a pretty straightforward First Amendment violation. This is a restriction on what counselors can say to their clients, and it prohibits one particular viewpoint.
He says he also wants to clear up what he deems to be a misconception on conversion therapy.
It's this idea that this is counselors forcing their viewpoints on young people and trying to make them forcibly not be gay or something. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about voluntary, client-driven counseling.
The Seven Rivers LGBTQ+ Center worked with the city council to help put the ban in place.
Conversion therapy is abuse and should not be allowed to take place. It is, a dangerous road for people to go down.
She's not the only one who agrees.
Almost all of the medical and psychology organizations throughout the country and world have renounced conversion therapy, basically stating that it is dangerous and can be, really awful, especially for minors.
An attorney for the city declined to comment on their next steps in the case, but Alicia knows what she'd like to see.
It'd be great for the courts to dismiss the lawsuit and follow suit with the other municipalities throughout the country.
In Alaska, Shaquille Davis, News 8 Now.
26 states, including the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, have banned the practice of conversion therapy.
The American Psychiatric Association has also condemned conversion therapy. The organization says it's connected to a greater risk of depression, anxiety, and self-destructive behavior.
Well, coming up tonight at 10, it was election day across the country.
With less than a year until the next presidential election, voters made it clear abortion is still top of mind when casting their ballots.
Service departments at the Dahl Auto Group are staffed by the most experienced team in the region. Whether you're buying a used car they've inspected or driving home one they've serviced, you can trust their work for years to come. Dahl Auto, simple.
Do you know where your money's going? Ultra's online and mobile banking gives you instant access to your accounts and makes managing your finances easy. Halfway around the world or at your local neighborhood shop. No need to visit a branch to deposit checks, transfer money, or open new accounts. All of those and more are available right at your fingertips. Check your spending, make loan payments, and send money to your friends and family. Convenient banking that gives you control of your finances. Ultra Federal Credit Union, helping you live your best life.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy.
Experienced sales consultants are good listeners who sell people what they need, not what's on sale. They're easy to work with and value a trusting relationship. We know team members with these life skills earn lifelong customers. Doll Auto, simple.
Protests and demonstrations on both sides of the conflict are taking place almost daily in cities across the country. While most are peaceful, some rallies have turned violent.
Tonight, an investigation is underway after the death of a 69-year-old Jewish man at a rally near Los Angeles.
CBS's Elise Preston reports on the disturbing details.
Thousand Oaks, California is trying to come to grips with why 69-year-old Paul Kessler lay dying after a confrontation. Moments earlier, he had held an Israeli flag. Nearby, pro-Palestinian demonstrators.
Investigators have not ruled out the possibility of a hate crime.
But no one has been charged, and police say they still have no video showing why and how Kessler fell to the ground, fracturing his skull. He died hours later.
These witnesses providing conflicting statements about what the altercation and who the aggressor was.
With emotions often reaching a fever pitch nationwide, and with attacks on the rise fueled by anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, this community may be the latest impacted.
Does this incident change your safety and patrol measures at demonstrations regardless of the size?
No, so we are not changing our protocol. 15 minutes prior to this confrontation, there was no indication of impending violence.
The Los Angeles chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations said in a statement, "We join local Jewish leaders in calling on all individuals to refrain from jumping to conclusions." At a makeshift vigil, tributes and anguish.
My heart hurts that someone innocently left home and he never came back.
Investigators tell us there have been conflicting statements about who started this incident, and they're asking anyone with information to come forward. They're actually hoping someone captured the altercation on their car cameras as they drove by. Elise Preston, CBS News, Thousand Oaks, California.
Back stateside, voters went to the polls to decide key races across the country, including an Ohio abortion rights measure that voters appear to have passed. That could serve as a barometer for what's ahead in the crucial 2024 vote. Ohio is the Election Day battleground for abortion access. CBS News projects voters passed an amendment to the state constitution that would guarantee women the right to an abortion. The long contentious issue took on greater importance for all sides after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade back in the summer of 22.
I remember what illegal abortions are like. They're not good. I'd rather have women have a choice.
We're stripping ability away from the legislature to go forward and pass protections for women and the unborn.
With some exceptions under the amendment, the procedure would be allowed up until fetal viability. That's usually around the 23rd week, according to doctors. Still ahead, the Conservation on Tap series continued tonight.
Members of the Coulee region met up to learn more about current conservation efforts.
As we head towards Veterans Day, temperatures are going to cool off, but they're going to do a flip for Veterans Day weekend. I'll explain when we might actually see the 50s come back and whether 60 might be next week. All that coming up on your First Warn weather update after the break.
Dear Sharp Curves, Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. We got traction, baby.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models. Toyota. Let's go places.
You've always been able to buy Very basic amplifiers. Insurance will not probably be covering anything that you find online. Many of the Medicare Advantage plans have been adding hearing aid coverage to their offerings.
Yeah, we take all insurances. United Healthcare, Epic, Humana, True Hearing, Blue Cross Blue Shield, federal employees, WPS. I mean, we take all of them.
Better Hearing Center, 11th and Main on Alaska.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Keep your garage organized with Master Force. This 36-inch rolling tool chest and cabinet features 14 secure raise and release drawers and a convenient power strip with USB access. Only $889.98 after rebate. These Sylvania premium LED bulbs mimic the natural light spectrum using TrueWave technology and feature superior dimming control. Pick up a 4-pack for just $7.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Fall is here and the weather is getting colder, so call or go online to schedule your free consultation and get 50% off your new energy-efficient windows from your home improvement company. That's right, your entire window project at half the cost. Our team of trained and certified professionals will ensure your project is done right the first time. And on top of that, we're offering no interest, no payments, and nothing down until 2025. Your home improvement company, where it's your home made better.
Stay warm and cozy this winter with La Crosse Fireplace Company and receive a 30% federal tax credit. Wood stoves with a modern style like Quadra-Fire or the classic look from Vermont Castings, La Crosse Fireplace Company has the stove to fit your style and needs. Purchase before the end of the year and receive a 30% federal tax credit on the entire package and installation. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
Dear Sharp Curves, Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. We got traction, baby.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models. Toyota. Let's go places.
Attention seniors, be safe with your affordable tub-to-shower conversion or enjoy an all-new bathroom. Contact the Ford Store Home Improvements today for a prompt free estimate. High quality at lower prices.
A quick update on election night. We reported earlier about Spring Grove's successful first question on their referendum in Winona County. We now have results from the Secretary of State's office about Lewiston Altura's 3-question referendum, including operating facilities and a bond referendum for capital projects. All 3 questions have failed tonight on election night. In other news, the Valley Stewardship Network has hosted their monthly series Conservation on Tap tonight at the historic Fortney in Viroqua.
The topic of tonight's focus was geology and groundwater in Wisconsin's driftless area. It was presented by Dr. Ken Bradbury, who highlighted the basic geology of the region, as well as water quality issues and ongoing research projects. The goal of the conservation series is to connect the public with current conservation efforts and to ultimately get them involved.
It's important for us to be abreast of what the current issues are that affect our area for conservation, so that we can urge our lawmakers to make good decisions and stay involved in conservation efforts.
The Conservation on Tap series is free to the public and is offered the first Tuesday of every month. We'll have more info on how you can attend on our digital platforms. Well, we're going to send it over to our chief meteorologist, Greg Barnhart, with our latest forecast.
Yeah, we're going to have a damp and probably a cooler Wednesday. It just won't be an all-day rain. It'll be more like a low clouds and fog. Well, not so much fog, but some low visibility and some drizzle. And that's really what we're going to see today. Although more showers as you go further north towards Eau Claire and Ladysmith, less as you go further south. We might even see a shower or 2 Saturday night. That's a very weak system that doesn't provide much other than cloud cover, but it does look dry for the next part of the week. Overall, really seasonal pretty much through tomorrow. 40s back for Thursday. The coldest day probably will be Friday this weekend. 40s back to the 50s. Even mid to upper 50s is looking a little bit more possible next week once again. Here's all the showers. So like I said, most of the shower and really light rain will stay to the north of La Crosse. Most of the areas south will see a little bit of a shower, but more drizzle as we go through the morning. Once this passes through, it doesn't look that all impressive, but we'll have a lot of low clouds going into the morning commute with some drizzle, maybe some low visibility in certain areas. Once you get further north of Ladysmith, that's where maybe it might switch over, but we're not going to see any impacts by that. By noon hour, once again, here's the boundary, the front front that's going to be coming through. So there could be a little bit of shower activity, light rain right along that as it pushes southeast. And so you see it develop and then sag southward as we go towards tomorrow afternoon. But once again, a lot of areas ahead of it, we'll still see the cloud cover and some drizzle. And then as we get closer to this time tomorrow night, we'll start to see a little bit more break as the winds begin to pick up out of the northwest, and probably see clearing skies later tomorrow night. So that's what we're looking at for the overall. Winter weather stuff, that's all towards Rhinelander. That's where they could see some snow. We're not expecting to see any of that. Maybe a little mix up towards Ladysmith. As you see, here's a system progressing eastward. Here's a low that'll be wrapped up. But notice the winds. That'll be the feature that we'll really be looking at for Wednesday. So breezy, windy conditions with a little bit of a wave come through, provide cloud cover. And then Friday looks like just will be the coldest day. But more cloud cover, northwest winds, and definitely the coolest air will be over at that point. So that's what we're looking at. For the winds, like I said, we could see 15 to 20, maybe 20 plus occasionally during the afternoon of Thursday, with some gusts even higher. So that's why we're expecting to see some very windy, breezy conditions out of the west. And that's what the main factor will be. Otherwise, for the weekend, here's that little weak thing that comes through. Could provide a shower Saturday night, but otherwise I think it'll be mainly dry. And then next weekend, the winds start coming out of the south all the way Monday and Tuesday, even beyond. So that should provide some warm temperatures, and that kind of reflects here. And you look at the temperatures, near average through about the early part of the weekend, and then we start seeing more pink as we go through the weekend, even to next week, indicating we're going to see above average temperatures, and it begins to expand as we go into next week. So that's the good news if you like the warmer conditions. Otherwise, there's your temperatures for tonight, upper 30s near 40 with some showers going on or some drizzle. And as we look at tomorrow, we're looking at conditions once again mid to upper 40s with the drizzle conditions continuing. We dry out, we get breezy, windy Thursday, and then for Veterans Day, we're looking at about 45 degrees and dry conditions. 50s return next week. And there's not an outside shot. I won't say right now. We could, some areas see 60 by middle of next week. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
All right, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg. Coming up next in sports, bring on some college hoops. UW La Crosse men's basketball team tipping off the regular season this Friday. Eagles going to do so with a new leader on the sideline. Rob is next.
Winter is here. And with winter weather come accidents and mishaps. Whether you're on your way to work, walking the dog, or out on the trail, accidents can happen.
At Buygoff and Rohde, we help you get the settlement you deserve to put your life back on track.
No matter your level of comfort with technology, our secure website allows for worry-free transactions. Whether at your computer or in the palm of your hand, our mobile app lets you manage your account on the go. For over 120 years, Union State Bank has provided our customers and community with quality financial services. We're here for you and welcome you to bank with us. Union State Bank, where customers and community come first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, our delicious pan pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Thick, crispy, buttery pan pizza? Now that is an expression.
Get a large 2-topping pan pizza for $11.99.
Cracks in brick, cracks in block, sticking windows or doors. Settling or sinking foundation, it's a fact. Foundation problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call American Waterworks.
They have state-of-the-art equipment. We have state-of-the-art equipment. They have qualified technicians. We have qualified technicians. They can set your appointment in maybe a month. We can get you in tomorrow. They will charge you an arm and a leg. We charge hundreds, not thousands. Sensible MRI, where quality and affordability meet.
With Buygoff and Rohde, you don't just get a lawyer. You get the experience and power of our entire team of lawyers, paralegals, legal assistants, and researchers. Buygoff and Rohde, Wisconsin's personal injury law firm for over 50 years.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
College hoops are finally back in La Crosse, and for the UWL men's basketball team, the Eagles have a new leader, a new system, but expectations remain the same. The Eagles hard at work this week as they gear up for Friday night's season opener. This year's squad being led by new head coach JT Gritzmacher. The West Allis native was hired back in June after spending the past 3 seasons at Bryant and Stratton College in Wauwatosa. Gritzmacher takes over a UWL team that finished 19-7 last year, 10-4 in conference play. As for the new head coach, he says his motto is defense first, and that'll be the biggest focus as he tries to implement his own system with the Eagles. Gritsmacher says meshing a bunch of different personalities together always takes some time, but it's a challenge he's embracing so far, and the players have responded well as we get closer to opening night.
That's kind of been our biggest thing, is just trying to figure out who we are as people, because we do have 14 guys who've been around each other for at least a year, and we got 7 guys plus coaches that haven't been around for maybe 2 months. So just try and get us all on the same page and get to know each other is probably our biggest thing we're working on right now.
I think it was kind of fluid. You know, being part of a program for so long, you kind of learn how to adjust. Just with a new coach, this is another hiccup in the road. I think JT did a great job, you know, getting everyone to buy in here, and I think it's really been a smooth process.
We'll see how that process has paid off so far on Friday night. Eagles tip off the regular season on the road at UW Superior. Some big-time matchups on the gridiron later this week. Let's start on the Minnesota side. The Warriors kick off the state tournament quarterfinals on Thursday night. Caledonia clashes with Jackson County Central. That game will take place at Mayo High School in Rochester. As for our Wisconsin high schools, the Blue Golds are just 2 wins away from their 3rd straight state title. Aquinas will take on Horicon Hustisford Friday night at Wisconsin Dells High School. In Division 7, Bangor got past rival Cashton last Friday. Cardinals are on to level 4. They'll meet up with Edgar on Friday night. That game will be played at Durand, Arkansas High School. For the 2nd straight season, the NBA stepping aside and not scheduling any games on Election Day. The league doing so to help encourage fans to get out and vote. When it comes to the Bucks and T-Wolves, I'm sure they appreciate the night off. 2 thrillers on Monday night. As for Milwaukee, the Bucks surviving on the road despite a 45-point performance from Brooklyn's Cam Thomas. Bucks win their 2nd straight, 129-125. They're back home tomorrow night hosting Detroit. As for the Wolves, a big-time performance from that man, Anthony Edwards, in OT, a season-high 38 points as Minnesota hands the Celtics their first loss of the year. T-Wolves are home tomorrow as well. They host New Orleans. Let's hit the ice. Minnesota looking for its 2nd straight win. Wild in New York taking on the Islanders. Vinny Lettieri sends a missile into the back of the net. That ties the game at 2. Then in the 3rd, it's our guy, Kirill Kaprizov, with the one-timer. He finds the twine. Wild go back in front, 3-2. Then about a minute later, check this out. Wild steal it. Great pass here from Pat Maroon. Joel Eriksson adds some insurance. Wild go up by 2. Minnesota makes it 2 in a row. They get the win, 4-2 the final in Nueva York.
And that means Emily's picks. She's got to be like 90% successful since she joined us.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
I might have to ask her.
98.
Are we allowed to bet? Are we allowed to say we bet?
I don't know.
Gamble? I might have to ask her some. I don't gamble, but if she did, she's the.
He came to me.
Exactly.
I got you guys taken care of.
We still got some time. What do we want to talk about?
No, we got like no time.
We got 20 seconds.
Right.
UW basketball, you excited? I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. They've been rising in the WIAC ranks.
Yep.
Whitewater, one of the top teams in all of Division III, though.
Yep, but they look good today.
All right.
Excited to see how
Fingers crossed, new era for the Eagles.
New era.
All right, we got more news right after this.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses. See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
Jolivet Family Farms, known for farm fresh fruit and vegetables, but featuring so much more. Come see all that we have. Homemade bakery, large selection of locally produced honey, gourmet popcorn, craft beer, wine, and cheese. Meat and seafood, arts and crafts, and so much more. There is no substitute for homegrown freshness. Open daily year-round. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
Escape the chaos of everyday life and experience true relaxation and improved health at Revive Wellness Spa. Unlike any spa in the area, Revive Wellness Spa is your first choice for self-care. Our services include red light therapy, meditation pod, an infrared sauna, a float tank, and so much more. Call or book online today and receive up to 60% off your first service. Don't forget to ask about our detox specials.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
It really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
When does a credit union become more than a credit union? Maybe it starts simple, getting you in a vehicle that's safe and reliable for your daily trips. Or maybe it's getting your dream vehicle for weekend adventures to remember. Whatever your vehicle needs are, Altra is ready to go the extra mile. With professional loan experts, an easy application, and no payments for 90 days. Apply today at drivealtra.org. Altra Federal Credit Union, helping you live your best life.
Time is running out. Shopko Optical can help maximize your vision benefits and FSA dollars before they expire. Get a comprehensive eye exam and discover your new style. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam.
It's estimated that as many as 25% of pregnancies end in miscarriage, according to the National Library of Medicine. It can be one of the most heartbreaking and challenging times, often leaving women feeling alone.
CBS's Kirsten Mitchell shows us how a Minnesota woman transformed her pain into purpose.
Really soft, very fluffy, machine washable.
Ashley Leeser has crocheted baby blankets for friends before.
It is a labor of love.
But these ones are going to strangers.
Creativity is a really great antidote to grief.
Who left the hospital, like she did, empty-handed.
The same hospital doors that everyone's walking out with their car seats and new babies. So as you're walking out next to that, a really painful feeling.
During a 14-week ultrasound, Ashley found out her baby girl passed away.
Your whole world comes crashing down.
A few days later, the blood loss nearly took her life too. She went to Maple Grove Hospital, where she is now giving back to other women experiencing pregnancy loss, one blanket at a time.
When I bring a blanket to a patient, I say, this is from Ashley, and she wants you to know that you're surrounded in light and love, and that she doesn't want you to feel so alone.
The hospital has a bereavement program, but nurse Jenny Berger says it's not always the case.
I think there is a lot of work to do when it comes to how we take care of these families.
I'm not able to fix the healthcare system overnight or by myself, but we can at least provide comfort and warmth for women who experience this today while we figure out ways to make it better for the future.
Ashley has raised enough money to provide a blanket to everyone experiencing pregnancy loss at Maple Grove Hospital for 1 year. Kirsten Mitchell, CBS News, Plymouth, Minnesota.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
This week's Hy-Vee hot deals. Buy a Hormel Cure 81 whole boneless ham, get a free turkey. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve Arm Roast, just $4.98 a pound. And select Coke products or AHA, $3.49 each when you buy 4. Only at Hy-Vee.
Sick of running out of hot water? The professionals at Maxwell White are here to handle all of your water heater needs. Our licensed technicians can install, repair, or replace any type of water heater with same-day or next-day service. Call Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
When you're looking to update your home, shop the Habitat Restore. The Habitat Restore offers a wide selection of new and gently used building materials and home furnishings at an incredibly low price. From furniture and cabinets, windows and doors, appliances, vintage items, reclaimed lumber, and everything in between. The Restore has what you're looking for, and new products arrive daily. So before you run to that big box store, shop the Habitat Restore, providing families with a place to call home.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Get ready to save some money because it's still going on. The King Furniture Total Renovation Sale with hundreds of recliners, motion furniture, bedroom furniture, and more. All drastically reduced. Over $2 million of quality name brand furniture at incredible prices. Like these Lazy Boy recliners starting at just $299. Queen mattresses starting at $349. Reclining sofas starting at an incredible $699. Do not miss the King Furniture Total Renovation Sale.
Founded on hard work, dedication, respect, and integrity, we at Maxwell White understand the importance of home comfort. Maxwell White strives to provide our customers with a positive experience every time. Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
This week's Hy-Vee hot deals are Fritos or Cheetos, just $2.98. Hy-Vee ice cream, just $4.77. And Campbell's Chunky or Well Yes soup, just $1.48. Only at Hy-Vee.
All right, we should have some drizzle, light rain, just cloudy conditions, really cooler tomorrow. It won't be a lot of rain, but it definitely will impact some activities there. And then we're going to dry out, get breezy Thursday, cool off Friday, and then we start warming back up with mid-50s next weekend. So
You'll have to see it. We're all happy dancing over here. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10.
We'll see you tomorrow.